I can't believe that of the 14,605 scenarios Doctor Strange foresaw in Avengers Infinity War, not one included the strongest and most dangerous Marvel hero single-handedly defeating Thanos. Here's a hint for which hero I'm talking about. Okay, that came off a little wrong, but it'll make sense in a second. The hero I'm talking about is none other than Ant-Man, aka Scott Lang, or its inventor, Hank Pym. Is it me, or does Ant-Man get no respect? He may be the comic relief, but make no mistake, this Avenger can take out the entire Marvel universe if he wanted.
Really?
Yes, really.
Now you may be saying very loudly at your computer or phone, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, that's one heck of a statement there, mister. I hope you're prepared to back that up." To which I say,
"Shut up, geek."
I'm just kidding. I'd be happy to explain how Ant-Man can beat the ever-loving crap out of every Marvel hero and villain. But for the sake of time, I'm gonna focus on the most powerful, because come on, if he can beat them, he can beat anyone.
Really?
First, we need to establish the extent of Ant-Man's powers. Now we all know his main powers, using Pym particles to shrink and grow. But how small and how big?
That's what she said!
First, let's talk about shrinkage. He can shrink down to a subatomic level while still maintaining his regular human strength, resembling an ant's ability to carry 20 times its own body weight. Shrinking this small, he is able to enter the quantum realm, not only making him completely undetectable, but tapping into the limitless potential of time travel and teleportation. Now let's get into how big he can get.
That's what she said!
Ant-Man can grow so gargantuan that he's able to enter what's called overspace, the antithesis to underspace. In overspace, he can consult with abstract cosmic entities like eternity and the living tribunal, with omnipotent powers like manipulating time, space, matter, energy, reality, and magic. And it just so happens that eternity is quite fond of Hank Pym. Always nice to have friends like that when you find yourself in a pickle. Now, aside from using Pym particles to shrink and grow himself, he can use them to shrink and grow other things as well. Comes in handy when you put too much yeast in your cake. Hank Pym has also developed a suit that is fully capable of flying, so Ant-Man doesn't have to be dependent on flying insects. Lastly, Ant-Man's cybernetic helmet allows him to communicate with and control all insects, not only ants, within a 1-mile radius. Now that you're aware of his abilities, let's get right into the beatdowns, starting with the Avengers. Now to show What If Season 1 Episode 3 illustrates this beautifully. Great show, by the way, you should check it out. But in an alternate universe, a deranged Hank Pym goes on a rampage and whacks each Avenger one by one, beginning with Tony Stark. Then he moves on to Thor. Then the Hulk. They never do get to Captain America, but never fear, I'm here. He could just ice cap the same way he took out the Hulk, so that's an easy one. Same could be said for rapidly healing heroes like Wolverine and Deadpool. Now if you're saying, well, what about Doctor Strange and Captain Marvel? Well, realistically, they could be taken out the same way, but let's just say Ant-Man is bored with the whole bomb in the heart routine. He could just shrink down to an atomic or subatomic level, break into Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum or Captain Marvel's apartment apartmorum by flying through a crack in the door, fly right into their ear, into their head, plant a shrunken bomb in their brain, fly out, activate the bomb, and now you're probably gonna ask, what about Thanos wielding the power of the Infinity Gauntlet? Aren't you? Oh, you bet I am. Well, why would Thanos be any different? None of those stones, even the Mind Stone, allows him to detect anything at the quantum or underspace level. So if anything, Ant-Man would just have to shrink a little more and off him the same way as the others. Now, if you don't think a regular bomb is enough to destroy Thanos' head, I assure you it's enough to destroy his brain. And even if it wasn't, Hank Pym is a pretty brilliant guy. He'd come up with something. Let's call it a Pym bomb. And just to be extra safe, Ant-Man can attack Thanos at his most vulnerable, sleeping or sitting on the can. He can even hide out in Thanos' scrambled eggs and get in right through his mouth. You know, sometimes we forget these heroes and villains have bodily functions just like us. Remember. Now here's where things get interesting. Let's say Ant-Man is against a villain like Galactus. One of Galactus' biggest weaknesses is his cosmic hunger. He has to feed off of planets in order to maintain his strength. If Ant-Man were to shrink down and inject Galactus with enough Pym particles to shrink him down to underspace, he'd basically starve to his demise.
Now let's cut this stupid cake, because I know the fat guy's gonna have a heart attack if we don't eat again soon.
Next, we get to arguably two of the most powerful characters in the Marvel Universe, Molecule Man and Sentry. Let's start with Molecule Man, aka Owen Reese, who can manipulate molecules and actually sense on a subatomic level. So not only would he sense Ant-Man at any size, but he could sense a speeding bullet and turn it into ash before it ever reaches him. That right there probably seals the deal that Ant-Man doesn't stand a chance, right?
I don't think so.
Aside from Molecule Man's powers, he is essentially still a regular guy with no superhuman strength, speed, or durability. So Ant-Man could simply slip Owen a Mickey Finn, wait until he passes out, then fill him full of lead. But now we get to Sentry, aka Robert Reynolds. Oh boy. This guy is basically the Superman of Marvel. So how the hell does Ant-Man defeat him? This is where Ant-Man's gonna have to get a little creative. Like Molecule Man, Sentry can manipulate molecules and has insanely heightened senses, but he cannot sense on a subatomic level. That right there gives Ant-Man the advantage. Now the question is how you destroy someone with Superman level durability who can use molecular manipulation to quickly heal from any injury. Well, any injury except getting his head sliced off. I think we can all agree that once any hero or villain loses his or her head,
it has ceased to be. It's expired and gone to see its maker. This is a late parrot.
That's where vibranium and or adamantium comes in. If Hank Pym forges several large circular blades out of either of those two metals, or even combines those two metals, he could easily shrink himself and the blades subatomic, enter Sentry to the orifice of his choosing, place each blade amongst different parts of Sentry's body, most importantly the neck, exit the orifice of his choosing, then activate the blades to return back to their normal size, slicing Sentry into several pieces, including his head, and instantly destroying him. How's that for a strategy?
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Well, that about does it for today. How'd I do? Do you agree or did I ruffle some feathers? What creative ways do you think Ant-Man could defeat these Marvel characters? Give us a like, then subscribe for more videos. We really appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in to CBR. Ciao!